year. I think we might have seen him on the road, but said hello to him before the game, along with Joe Lindsey.
Yeah, Steven Anderson. Yes,
yeah.
Indeed. Joe Lindsey, I know we've seen on the road. I don't know that we've seen him at home. Steven, we've seen a few times. Pretty solid crowd on hand as the Gamecocks and the Longhorns ready to go at it. Lamont Paris talked about it on Carolina Calls Thursday. If you're here, be loud. Give this team a home court advantage. It can make such a huge difference in a game which is as closely matched as this one looks like it is on paper and as closely as the folks in Vegas seem to think it is.
It can boost the momentum that you get started.
Nick Pringle will be in the center jump circle. So will Caden Shedrick. As we're just about ready to get this one started. Gamecocks, the longest SEC losing streak in program history. 1 year after they won a school record time, 26 wins. What a crazy game.
Well, go figure, like Mizzou last year. Look at them now.
Yeah, Missouri, who we will see Tuesday night, has gone from going over in conference play to being absolutely one of the front runners in the league. All right, I think we're ready to play ball. Steven Anderson steps to midcourt. Gives everyone one last check to get the cameramen off the court. And I think he finally has them suited and ready to go, and we're going to play ball. The orange orb goes in the air. The tip is won by the Longhorns, and basketball is underway here at the corner of Green and Lincoln Street as Julian Larry sets up the offense. Checked over there by Jamarii Thomas. Gives it off on the right wing to Johnson, who will drive into the paint. Kicks it on the left side to Shedrick. Now back to Johnson. Hassled by Zach Davis. Now on a switch, Davis trying to guard Shedrick. Here's a pick and roll and an easy layup for Texas's Jason Kent. He set the ball screen out at the top of the key. Gamecocks have had real problems guarding the ball screen all season long.
Played good defense to the very end, about 5 seconds on the clock.
Jason Kent, not a big scorer for this team, only in the lineup really to start because of the injury to Kaluma. Here's a Murray-Boyles drive to the basket and a left-handed layup.
Great decision, put the ball on the floor and go strong to the basket.
Collin being urged by his coach every day in practice, be more aggressive. 2-2 your score. Here comes Trey Johnson. Pull-up jumper, top of the key, off the iron, no good. Murray-Boyles had the rebound poked out of bounds, and Carolina will get it. Johnson's going to get his shots up. He's been the SEC Freshman of the Week 3 of the last 4 weeks. He has really hit his stride here in conference play. Jacobi Wright trots it into the front court. Texas in a man-to-man. Jamarii Thomas, pull-up 3 from right of the key. Too strong. Long rebound pulled out of the sky by Shedrick. Jamarii hit 3 threes Tuesday night, so no surprise he would look to go there early. Tremont Mark, guarded by Murray-Boyles, can't shake free and has to send it out top to Larry to reset the offense. Johnson, wearing the white headband, comes out to quarter court on the right side. Gamecocks have him double-teamed, force him to give it up to Shedrick. Now it's Mark, shot clock at 3. Mark does not spot it. Now he does. Lets a long 3-ball go. That misses badly, and that did not draw iron, which makes it a shot clock violation.
Good defensive stance.
Absolutely, and Nick Pringle on the switch did a good job of holding his ground and not panicking by having to guard a perimeter guy. Made him shoot over the top. Pringle, of course, is 6'10". Forced the errant effort. Gamecocks set it up offensively. Jacobi Wright drives and kicks. Murray-Boyles right side 3. Comes up short. Rebound pulled down by Mark. Tremont Mark, another guy with good length. 6'5", 200 pounds, but really long arms. His reach, his wingspan, much better than most guys 6'5". Here's Trey Johnson backing down Jamarii Martin on the right wing. Spins to the baseline and knocks down the mid-range jumper.
He was going to go one-on-one. He was not going to pass that one.
He had a mismatch there, 6'6" against 5'11", and he got to a spot on the floor that he liked. 4-2 Longhorns as we head towards the 17-minute mark, just underway. Zach Davis feeds it low for Pringle, makes the catch on the post, has his shot rejected from behind by Shedrick. Gamecocks will have it on the baseline with 6 on the shot clock. Caden Shedrick, 44 block shots this season. That leads Texas. He's 6th in the SEC in blocks per game. Inbounds to Jacobi Wright. Catch and shoot three from the right side. No good. Rebound tipped off the backboard and comes out in the hands of Texas's Trey Johnson, who brings it ahead and pulls the string on a deep three. That's too strong. Rebound to Murray-Boyles. Quick outlet to Thomas. Up the mid side. Jamarii takes it to the right baseline. No look pass underneath to Pringle, who scores it from below on the right.
Good finish by Nick. He's missed a couple of those bunnies, but he converted that time.
Held to 6 points at LSU and just as problematic. Had 6 turnovers in that game. We're tied at 4. Mark wide open for 3 on the right side. Misses from the baseline, and the rebound tip to Murray-Boyles. Gamecocks bring it the other way. Looking for their first lead here of the early going. And instead, Thomas fires a pass to Jacobi Wright, who made a heck of a catch. I thought that one was going into the Longhorn bench. Jacobi behind a Pringle screen. Drives right, gets a double team, gives to Murray-Boyles, feeding it low to Pringle, and he tried to give it back to Murray-Boyles, but Collin was cutting to the basket, and that'll be a turnover as it deflects off Collin's hands and out of bounds. Morris Ugusuk checks in as the first sub of the game. The sophomore from Helsinki, Finland, replaces Jamarii Thomas. Need Morris to be better. Lately, he's been in a real struggle.
He's been in a funk. He's made poor decisions lately. Let's hope he plays much better tonight.
Has had either 0 or 2 points in 5 of his last 7 contests. 4-4, your score, 4 minutes gone by. Here's Kent feeding Shedrick in the low post, and they call the foul on Pringle as Shedrick went up for the jump hook. The foul on Nick gets us to a timeout. 4-4 your score, just over 4 minutes gone by. Cool Care Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Refrigeration is proud to be Gamecock Basketball's official review sponsor this season. The unexpected happens every day. When it does, head to Kohl's and Kohl's.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where families come first. 4-4 your score. Both teams with very similar shooting efforts.
Well, both 2 for 6 from the field and 0 for 3 from behind the arc, and both teams have 1 turnover apiece.
Texas makes a substitution as they will bring onto the floor Devon Pryor, 6'7" sophomore from Houston, who over the last half-dozen games has seen his role in their rotation increase. And so he is the first sub. As play resumes, Caden Shedrick will be at the free throw line where he's a 67% shooter. Pringle got that first personal, and he sits down. Jordan Butler, the freshman 7-footer from Christ Church Episcopal School in the upstate, comes on the floor for the Gamecocks. Shedrick's first free throw. Too strong off the back iron. Shedrick's originally from Holly Springs, North Carolina. As we said, 4 years for the Virginia Cavaliers and now 2 years with the Texas Longhorns. I suppose he's out of eligibility at the end of this season.
I hope so.
You never know anymore. He makes 1 of 2. Texas retakes the lead at 5-4. Murray-Boyles posting up, and he's fouled on the catch by Caden Shedrick. With Butler out there, Casey, it is interesting to watch how that changes the way defenses approach things. They have to space a little bit more than they do against Pringle because he is going to hang out on the perimeter, not in the low post too much. He's got it right now on the right side on a pick and pop. Did not get a shot up. Instead gives to Murray. Shot clock at 8. They clear out. Collin drives, backs in, spins, finger roll up. No. Texas grabs the rebound. Tremont Mark, I should say, has it and brings it ahead. Right side handoff for Larry. Julian Larry, who transferred in from Indiana State after a great season last year for the Sycamores. Kent also was there last year. He drives to the basket, misses from close range. Gamecocks may have gotten a block there in transition. They'll set it up in the half court. They do give the block to Jordan Butler, his 7th block shot of the season. A double team against Murray-Boyles, has the ball knocked free, regains control, drives to the hoop, and gets his shot blocked. Now this Caden Shedrick got that one. Gamecocks stuck on 4 for a while now. Texas, with Trey Johnson on the bench, has to look elsewhere for firepower. Shedrick posts up against Zach Davis. Works his way into the low post left side. Spins, lost the handle, regains it, sends it out top. Deflected by Ugusuk, but retained by the Longhorns. Shot clock at 5. Crossover dribble by Larry. Gets into the post, throws up a prayer. That comes up short on the finger roll, and the rebound belongs to Zach Davis. Gamecocks in transition. Murray-Boyles beats everybody down floor, gets the layup, and draws the foul.
I was about to say another good defensive stance by the Gamecocks, and Zach Davis sees Collin all alone.
A good hustle by Collin. Normally he's the guy grabbing the rebound. In this instance, he leaked out, and a heady play there. The head fake got Devon Pryor off his feet, and the contact wasn't nearly enough to stop the bucket from going in. Texas with wholesale substitutions here as Arthur Kaluma leads a new troop of Longhorns onto the floor, and Collin makes the free throw and converts the three-point play. Jordan Pope is out there now to run the point guard. He's a transfer from Oregon State, a junior who averages 11 points a game, more of a scoring point guard than a distributor. Trey Johnson's back. Gamecocks have him trapped out near midcourt. He gives to Kaluma. Kaluma backs in against Butler. Lost his dribble, picked up his pivot foot, but he gets away with that. Shot up and missed from the high post by Jordan Pope. And Murray-Boyles grabs the rebound. Gamecocks have the lead at 7-5. First time tonight they've enjoyed the advantage. Here's another pick and roll and another hoop and horn. Murray-Boyles scores it from low on the right this time and draws the contact.
It wouldn't bother me if he took every shot down the floor every time.
That's a nice look there from Jamarii Thomas on that little pick and roll. Kaluma gets the personal. And Murray-Boyles looking for another three-point play. Texas cooling off and then some. Collin sinks the free throw. That's another 100 meals donated to a local area food bank thanks to Food Lion Feeds and the Score to Give More program. 10-5 South Carolina. Gamecocks with 6 in a row on a pair of three-point plays by Collin Murray-Boyles. Kaluma on the right wing gives a little shimmy shake. Drives to the free throw line. Gamecocks cut him off. Now it's Trey Johnson curling off a dribble handoff, guarded by Jordan Butler. Drives around and throws up the left-handed floater. No, and Butler grabs the rebound. Gamecocks again with good defense. Longhorns have missed their last 6 shots. Murray-Boyles gets knocked down, regains his feet, and then tries to go baseline and dribbles it off his foot and out of bounds. Turnover by South Carolina is number 2. Gamecocks bring onto the floor Arden Conyers, and we've got an injury as Mike Nance, the official, is come up gimpy. And I mean, he's really in some pain right now. Limping around, Collin Murray-Boyles will sit down. And I get the impression, I missed it, but did Murray-Boyles and Mike Nance collide? Is that what led? I looked up and Collin was on the ground, and now seeing an official that is clearly limping, I'm just wondering, is that where the collision happened? I haven't seen a replay to get a feel. Either way, Collin gets a rest as Benjamin Bozeman's Verdonk, the grad student from Lamel, Belgium, is on the floor for the first time. Also, Nick Pringle returns for South Carolina. So Pringle, Bozeman's Verdonk, Arden Conyers, Jamari Martin, and Morris Ugusuk on the floor. And a foul called on the Gamecocks. Conyers gets the personal. Gamecocks, as there was a pick and roll being set up, and they were really going to flood the ball handle and run 2 defenders at him, and Conyers guilty of the reach-in. Second foul on South Carolina. Texas hasn't scored in 3 minutes. They trail at 10-5. Good defensive start for these Gamecocks. Tremont Mark on the left wing, guarded by Conyers. Sends it to Pope at the top of the key. Now to Johnson, right wing. Feeds it on to Kaluma. Drives the baseline. Double team. Knocks it free. The Gamecocks do. It's loose on the floor. Who's got it? The Aggies do. Or excuse me, the Longhorns do. And then it's a shot clock violation. As diving to pick up that basketball was Zarek Onyema, who just checked in. And Onyema got to the ball, but he was flat on his back. Not much he could do with it with the shot clock expiring. You can't get a shot off from that position very easily.
No, but another defensive stance. The defense has been pretty good for the Gamecocks this first half.
Zarek Onyema, 6'9", 235, senior from El Paso, Texas. Jamarii Thomas on the right wing, fires it left side to Ugusuk, who gives it in the post to Pringle. Pringle against Onyema, backs him down, jump hook with the right hand, up and good.
He looked good on that possession.
We don't see a ton of back to the basket moves from Nick Pringle, but that looked very smooth. He scores the jump hook. He's got 4. Gamecocks lead now 12-5. Left side, this is Kaluma, drives the baseline, runs into a double team. In a bad angle, he walks and they let him get away with it, misses the shot anyway, and Pringle grabs the rebound. I'm amazed once you come to a jump stop how they let you pick up that pivot foot now. That is so clearly a violation and an advantage gained by the offense. Gamecocks trying to add to the lead and extend the 8-0 run. Bozeman's for Donk in the low post, jump hook, too strong off the back iron. Longhorns 4.5 minutes without points. Tremont Mark sizing up Jamarii Thomas, gives it up there. Now Trey Johnson drives into the lane, and Arden Conyers will get his second personal foul on the bump. Timeout with 11:18 on the clock, and Carolina out in front of Texas, 12-5. We had ourselves a bright, clear Sansbury day in Columbia today, and that reminds me to tell you that Sansbury is the official Gamecock eye care provider. We really got to see. So we see Sansbury. We'll return after this from Toyota. Gamecocks on an 8-0 run, and every point they've scored so far has come from the pair of Nick Pringle and Collin Murray-Boyles, focusing on the post.
Well, to go inside, and they responded. The Longhorns 0 for the last 7, 1 for the last 10. A scoring drought of 4 minutes and 36 seconds. And you got Collin Murray-Boyles 3 for 6 for the field, 8 points, 5 rebounds. And that's a good start.
Today's game is brought to you by the Columbia Metropolitan Airport, the official airport of the Gamecocks. From takeoff to tip-off, CAE supports the Gamecocks nonstop. For more information on CAE's newest airline, Allegiant, to book your next trip or for a complete list of nonstop destinations, please visit flycae.com. Off the timeout and inbounds from Texas under the basket. They miss a jumper, but they get an offensive rebound, and the scoring drought stops at 4:43 on a Jason Kent putback. Kent has 4 of the Longhorns' 7. And the Gamecocks lead is trimmed to 5. Zach Davis back on the floor, drives, finger roll with the right hand, up and good.
Great decision by Zach. Had his man measured, took his time, not in a hurry.
He kind of had the hesitation move there, pulled up for a moment, and then accelerated on. Zach hasn't been shooting him much lately, only taking 5 shots over the last 2 games. That was his first attempt tonight. Gamecocks 14-7 over Texas, and we get a traveling violation on the Longhorns as Shedrick tried to post up Bozeman's Verdonk and was juggling the ball and moving his feet. You had all sorts of reasons to call a travel in that instance. Third turnover by the Longhorns, who average less than 10 a game. They are one of the better teams in this league in terms of taking care of the basketball. Ugusuk drives the baseline. Shot hits the bottom of the rim, though, and Texas comes away with it. Zach Davis pokes it free and out of bounds, but Texas will have it. It was a nice aggressive move by Morris, but he waited too late to release the basketball.
Half a second early, he might have scored it off the glass.
He checks out. Jacobi Wright returns. 14-7 Gamecocks as we come here to the 10-minute mark, midway through first half. Open 3 in the corner for Pryor. That's too strong. Rebound tipped into the hands of Pringle. Quick outlet to Jacobi Wright. He brings it up the far side, slows it down. Thomas at the top of the key. Jab step, crossover, drive, spin, hangs in the air. Left-hander won't go. Rebound to Bozeman's Verdonk. He's tied up. Possession arrow will keep it with the Gamecocks. Collin Murray-Boyles will check back in for South Carolina. And he'll replace Nick Pringle. Gamecocks getting set up around the lane, basically in a square, and Murray-Boyles takes the inbounds out top. Jamarii comes back and gets it on a dribble handoff. Gives it back to Murray-Boyle. Shedrick nearly steals that pass away. Now Collin wants a screen. Bozeman's Verdonk comes and sets it. Shot clock down to 5. Thomas pulls up for a contested 3, and he was fouled on it. Oh, that's a bailout with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Jordan Pope gets a piece of the arm of Jamarii Thomas, and he'll get 3 free throws.
And Thomas will send him a thank you note for that one.
Now, the Gamecocks have not been the recipient of those kinds of mistake fouls as often as they've committed them. And Jamarii, looking to get in the scorebook for the first time tonight, will shoot 3. First attempt is good for Thomas. Had a season high at LSU on Tuesday, 23 points to go with 5 rebounds and 3 assists. He had a huge second half. And he's got the first 2 free throws to go down here. Gamecocks 4 for 4 so far at the line, and that means 400 meals have been donated to a local area food bank thanks to Food Lion Feeds and the Score to Give More program. One more for Jamarii. Got it.
It bounced around.
Did a little rattling. Settles in, and it's 17-7. Gamecocks stretch the lead to double figures here with 9.5 minutes left in the first half of play. Trey Johnson bumped by Zach Davis. 4th foul on the Gamecocks. If they're going to use them up, they're going to use them up guarding Trey Johnson and making things harder and more difficult on him. And I think they've committed 3 fouls already guarding Trey Johnson, but he also only has 2 points. Inbounds comes out to Jordan Pope. Pope played 2 years for the Oregon State Beavers. Transfers to Texas, gives it up to Trey Johnson on the right wing. Fakes, dribbles to the baseline. Zach Davis right there with him. Steps up and under Zach and misses from close range. Rebound tipped out to the perimeter. Texas has it. Back to Johnson for 3 in the corner, and he rattles that one in.
You know he's too good to go too long without scoring.
That's his 61st three-pointer of the season. And for Texas now, they've got only 2 offensive rebounds, but they've got 5 points off of those offensive rebounds. 17-10 South Carolina. Jamarii Thomas wants to give it to Murray-Boyles and does. Jamarii way out on the wing. Double team comes. Gamecocks reverse it. Zach on the left corner. Shot clock at 5. He tries to lob it into the post to Bozeman's Verdonk, and he is pulled to the ground by Jordan Pope, who probably was thinking, I can't guard someone 6'9", but in reality, with the shot clock so low, that was a bailout for the Gamecocks. Again, 2 fouls by Jordan Pope that the Gamecocks have been greatly helpful, or found greatly helpful. And now Pope will check out, and he'll be replaced by Julian Larry. And Bozeman's Verdonk sits as Jordan Butler returns. Resetting the shot clock to 20. Inbounds to Jacobi. Corner 3 up and good!
Well, that's a big shot. Believe it or not, early in the game, that's a big shot from behind the arc.
First Gamecock 3, and it answers the first Longhorn 3, and the lead's back to 10. Trey Johnson drives left baseline, finds a teammate, and that shot rejected. Murray-Boyles absolutely swats Devon Pryor's attempt out of bounds.
39 blocks, I think, for Collin.
5th, that's 40. He had 39 coming in. So Collin Murray-Boyles, talk about a stat sheet stuffer. Pryor, who got that shot rejected, checks out. Tremont Mark is back. 15 on the shot clock. Texas inbounds from underneath the hoop. They'll get it into Trey Johnson at the bucket. Gamecocks double team him. He gives it off, and the dunk attempt is missed by Shedrick, and then the ball is lost out of bounds. Texas cannot believe a foul wasn't called, but Butler got a piece of the basketball apparently for his second block. Timeout on the floor, 20-10. Gamecocks in front. Backstreet's Grill, the host of Carolina Calls. Also the great place to stop for brunch tomorrow. 7:59 left in the first half of play. What a defensive effort we've seen so far from Carolina, Casey.
Well, we've held them to 4 for 18 from the field. That's 22%. Only 1 of 5 from downtown, 20% they hit. 1 of 2 from the line. Meanwhile, we're shooting pretty good. 7 of 16, 44%, but only 1 of 4 from downtown. I think Jacobi Wright just hit that one. But 5 for 5 from the line. And you got to make your free throws either early or late. Hopefully, both early and late.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Gamecock basketball from Learfield. Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP experience this basketball season. Head on over to usccontest.com and register for your chance to be Cockey's game day guest. Winners are going to come away with a special invitation to our coach's radio show, tickets to a weekend game, and the unique opportunity to join Cockey on the court during pregame. Visit usccontest.com and register today, and that's brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. They're here for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs. Gamecocks with the basketball out of the timeout. Texas goes zone. Jordan Butler left all alone for a three. Too strong, and the rebound comes down to Texas. Well, that's a perfect look.
Yeah, he's wide open.
Jordan is 7 of 22 on the season. Texas went to a zone for the first time, and the Gamecocks diagnosed it perfectly, just didn't make the open look. And now the Longhorns back to the offensive end, where it has been a struggle so far. 4 of 18, as Casey mentioned a moment ago. Trey Johnson gets a dribble handoff, runs to the rim, and has an easy layup. They set a ball screen there on the perimeter with that dribble handoff, and Jordan Butler was thinking he needed to come out aggressively, and Johnson just breezed right by him for his third bucket. Give Trey Johnson 7 of Texas's 12. Texas goes back to the man-to-man. Murray-Boyles in the high post, fakes a shot, drives to the hoop, scores it, and he's fouled. Oh, he just did work on Caden Shedrick, who got his second personal.
Now that's the third and one he's had this first round.
What a savvy move that was. He fakes, just a quick little fake on the shot at the free throw line, got Shedrick up on his toes, and then boom, the blow by, and Shedrick with the clear foul. And Collin with a chance to convert another three-point play. Leaves this free throw short, though. Either way, he's got 10 points. And the Gamecocks lead at 22-12. Shedrick checks out, Kaluma back in after getting that second foul. Trey Johnson drives up and under the basket. A wild shot attempt, nowhere close on that one, and Zach Davis has the rebound. I guess you don't average 20 a game without forcing some, and that was a force. Here's Jacobi Wright driving into traffic. Kicks it out. Butler all alone for another three. Right corner, too strong. Rebound tipped by Murray-Boyles, but out of bounds.
2 good looks. Well, shouldn't go in.
You got to make those. That's why you're out there. Spacing the floor, that's your thing. When you're a guy who's 7 feet tall and only has attempted 1 2-point field goal all season, if you're not going to go play around the basket when you're 7 feet tall, you have to make the three-pointers that you attempt. Good hard hedge from Butler as Larry came off a ball screen and got hurted all the way out to midcourt. Now here's Tremont Mark driving and getting contact from Jacobi Wright. Crowd didn't like that one. They thought that Mark just lost his balance and committed a traveling violation. Instead, it's the 5th foul on the Gamecocks, and Texas will have it underneath the hoop. Texas 5 of 20 from the field. Longhorns find Johnson. Catch and shoot 3 in the corner. No. Butler's got a rebound for the Gamecocks. So Trey Johnson now 3 of 9 from the field. Jacobi Wright drives, feeds, to him, flush for Murray-Boyles.
Go to Collin Murray-Boyles when you get a chance.
That time it was Texas struggling on the pick and roll, and Collin had the uncontested flush, give him 12. Now he's defending Kaluma in the low post, and he takes a charge. He is doing it all. Collin Murray-Boyles at both ends of the court, and now that's 2 on Arthur Kaluma to go with the 2 that Caden Shedrick already has. He is one of 2 players in power conferences that is averaging 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 steal in a game while shooting over 50%. Only he and super freshman Derek Queen at Maryland can claim that. Collin Murray-Boyles having a stupendous second season. Ugusuk drives to the lane, shot rejected, and Texas comes away with it. And in transition, Mark will go strong to the hoop and draw the contact. Boy, oh boy, that was Zarek Onyema who blocked the shot and then went hard and landed on the back of his head. He gets up to try and pursue the play, and the minute the foul was called and the whistle was blown, Onyema went right back down on the hardwood, holding the back of his head. That was an athletic play by Onyema to reject the attempt by Ugusuk, but then he fell hard on the back of his head. And he is up on his feet And walking off slowly under his own power. Butler got that personal foul. And Tremont Mark will be going to the line. And they're going to bring Shedrick back on the court. So they've got Shedrick and Kaluma with 2 fouls each. And now Onyema going to the locker room to be checked out. Suddenly a real shortage of size for the Longhorns, or at least guys that don't have foul trouble. They've got Jason Kent back out there. Tremont Mark shooting free throws. He'll have 2. First one good. Texas, one of the better free throw shooting teams in the league. 75.4%, second in the conference. And in conference play, how about 79%? That's outstanding.
Well, that's why you need to guard him without fouling. When you put him on the line, they're going to make it.
And they'll be in the bonus the rest of the half here. First 2 points for Tremont Mark. Gamecocks lead back to 10, 24-14. 5 minutes left, first half of play. Gamecocks spacing the floor. Now they go into the high post again to Murray-Boyles. They give him space. He'll shoot the jumper, and he's got 2 more.
He's doing it all, isn't he?
Shedrick had to sag that time with those 2 fouls after he's gotten beaten off the dribble so often. But Collin's got 14 here in the first half. Trey Johnson weaves his way across the lane. Murray-Boyles giving chase. Gives it out top to Mark now. Mark against Jacobi Wright. Drives, hangs in the air, shot off the glass. No, and Arden Conyers there to claim the rebound. Murray-Boyles ahead of the pack. They'll lob it ahead for him. He goes up and has the shot rejected. Tremont Mark chased him down from the backside. He needed to try and dunk that one.
Yeah.
Went up too soft with it. Now a pick and roll. Shedrick under the basket. Murray-Boyles says no again. Oh, the rejection. Jacobi Wright hurries it the other way. Numbers not there. Gamecocks set it up in the half court. A 12-point lead by the Gamecocks. Carolina has blocked 4 shots. Texas hasn't made a field goal in over 3 minutes. Jacobi drives to the baseline. Now he's stuck. Gives it out top to Murray-Boyles. Jacobi comes back and gets it again. Shot clock at 6. Drives with the left hand. Throws up one off balance. No, air ball. Murray-Boyles offensive rebound. Shot rejected by Shedrick, and here comes Texas the other way. Trey Johnson drives between 2 men and scores the basket from below on the left.
Couple of tough trips on offense for the Gamecocks.
Shot blocking at a premium here today. Texas has 5. The Gamecocks have 4. Lead back to 10. Media timeout at our next dead ball. Murray-Boyles again in the high post. Back out to Ugusuk. Morris drives around him. Feeds back to Murray-Boyles. They'll reverse to Jacobi. Wide open for 3. Off the iron. No. Rebound to Ugusuk and a foul called. And this will be Texas, I believe, as Conyers was in a bear hug that was created by Tremont Mark. And I think that means he'll be at the line when we come back. Timeout with 3:12 left in the half. And the Gamecocks leading Texas 26-16. Signorama is your one-stop shop to grow your business. They design, print, install, and service all of your signage and graphic solutions needs. You can rely on Matt Vaughn and his team, just like Gamecock Athletics does. Contact your local.
And stomp louder. Enough never is. Not here. Between the magnolias and the azaleas, legends and lore regale us, downright implore us. Bring everything you got, and then bring more.
Collin Murray-Boyles has 14 points. Texas has 16 points. Good news for the Gamecocks. They've gotten some help for Collin, and they lead Texas right now 26-16. They'll have free throws upcoming after this timeout. But he is being as aggressive offensively as I think we've seen all season.
Well, he's taking 11 first-half shots, and he needs to probably get about 20 a game if he can. And he's got a little bit of help. Pringle has been on the bench for a while, but he was due for 3. And you got Jamarii Thomas hitting a 3. And Jacobi Wright hit a 3. But we're shooting 10 of 26 there. 39% pretty good.
Arden Conyers at the line. It'll be a 1 and bonus opportunity for the Gamecocks. Arden 75% on the season. First attempt up and perfect. In today's fast-paced world, you'll really appreciate Sansbury Eye Center's selection, style, comfort, price, and 1-hour service. what you will love most of all is the precision of your vision. That's what a bright, clear Sandsbury day is all about.
2 big free throws.
Gamecocks 7 of 8 at the line so far. Texas 3 of 4. Lead back to 12. 28-16. Texas with a juggle and the ball run all the way in the backcourt. Carolina knocked it free from Onyema, but no one could pick it up, and it ends up near mid or into the backcourt. And now as Julian Larry brings it across midcourt, Benjamin Bozeman's Verdonk with an unhelpful foul.
35 feet maybe from the basket. He just fouled an 87% foul shooter.
After the ball, it had to be chased all the way to the other end of the court. I didn't have a look at the shot clock, but it had to be running somewhat low and just not a smart play at all. And you're going to pay for it, as Casey just alluded to, with the Julian Larry free throw attempt at 87%. 1-1 might as well be counted for 2. He got the first one. One more coming. And how about that? It rattled out. The jinx from the broadcaster remains in effect. Murray-Boyles gets a rest right now. Gamecocks will work without their horse. Jamarii Thomas looking in the low post, feeds Bozeman's Verdonk, and he's fouled on the catch. Texas going, I wouldn't say with a smaller lineup, but Trey Johnson is not who they want trying to guard one of the bigs. But in this instance, not a crazy bad foul, because it's the 9th foul, which means it's still just a 1 bonus for Benjamin.
And he's 50% from the line this year.
The big man flexes the knees and shoots it. Good. And I mean a swish. Last 3 games, Ben's playing a lot more. 16 minutes a game in that stretch, and averaging 4 points a game in that stretch, which is some increased production. Second free throw, you got it.
Got both of them.
The old cough drop. Off the back iron, up in the air, rattles off the front of the rim and settles in. And now he sits, and Collin Murray-Boyles returns. 2:40 left in the half. Gamecocks lead it 30-17, largest lead of the game. And here come the Longhorns. Julian Larry out top, gets a ball screen, drives, lobs it for Onyema, who catches it, dunks it, and is fouled. The alley-oop works to Zarek Onyema, and Nick Pringle got there late and is guilty of his second foul of the half. The pick and roll, boy, I tell you, if this team needs to get better at anything next year defensively, that's it. They've got to improve their performance. Onyema makes the free throw, and a 3-point play for the Longhorns cuts the lead back to 10, 30-20.
You don't want to see this momentum slip away the last 2 minutes and 27 seconds of the half.
Interestingly, the Gamecocks leave Pringle on the floor with those 2 fouls. Thought they might run Butler or Bozeman's Verdonk back in there. Here's Murray-Boyles driving, cut off, spins back to the opposite side and banks it in anyway. What a shot. All Rodney Terry could do on the Texas sideline was just shrug his shoulders. His defense did everything right that time, and Murray-Boyles scored anyway. 32-20 Gamecocks. Again, the pick and roll, a pocket pass, and a bank shot goes in for Jason Kent as he is falling down. Gamecocks fortunate they didn't get called for a foul there. 32-22. Texas starting to heat up a little bit. They're still just 8 of 26. Murray-Boyles drives. Defender falls. Murray-Boyles misses the easiest shot he's had all day, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with Carolina. Defender fell, and so he stepped forward and tried the little finger roll and just spun it off. Conyers and Pringle leave the lineup. Bozeman's Verdonk and Zach Davis return with 1:31 left in the half and 20 seconds on the shot clock. Baseline out of bounds. Jamarii Thomas, the trigger, as they hand him the ball. Gets it into Bozeman's Verdonk, gets it back. Gamecocks send it to Murray-Boyles. They'll feed it low for Bozeman's Verdonk, and on a mismatch, he's fouled again.
Can he make 4 in a row this game is the question.
Julian Larry, the guilty party. That's the 10th foul in Texas, so Ben gets a guaranteed 2 free throws on this trip. Gamecocks 9 of 10 at the line. And again, Texas such a good free throw shooting team. You need to take care of your opportunities as you assume they will, and Ben leaves this one short. Gamecocks back at home for 2 more home games in March, the 1st and the 4th. Against Arkansas and Georgia. Get your tickets now through Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of your South Carolina Gamecocks. Bozeman's Verdon gets 1 of 2, and we'll take 3 of 4 from him. Again, Ticketmaster.com. That's where you get tickets to see the Gamecocks play. Razorbacks and Bulldogs, the last 2 home games. Turnover by Texas. Jacobi Wright with a steal, gives to Murray-Boyles, and in transition, falling down, kicks to Jamarii Thomas. 3 is up, and it is good.
How many times have we seen that happen to us?
A turnover looked like it was going to result in a turnover right back as Collin was driving, looking for contact, didn't get the call, had the presence of mind to pass it to the perimeter. Here's another turnover by Texas as Johnson sails a pass well over the head of Mark and into the 3rd row. 49 seconds left in the half. Gamecocks up by 14. Texas now with 6 turnovers in the half. This team averages less than 10. They turn it over only on 14% of their possessions, Casey. That's 15th best in the nation, but they are hurried, harassed, and out of sorts here in the first half as Lamont Paris will call a timeout since his team has 1 to use or lose with 49 seconds left. Gamecocks will not get the last possession, but they could, I guess, look at going 2 for 1 here as the NBA has really made popular.
Well, you know, it's been the defense tonight against the Longhorns that's made the difference in this game, and we need to continue that.
The defense and Collin Murray-Boyles, who has 16 points and 6 rebounds with 3 block shots and an assist in the first half, folks. He scored more points than he's played minutes.
Well, I was saying he needs to get 20-plus at the beginning, and he's on his way.
Well, on his way. Yeah. Coming up in just a bit, the Gamecock halftime report. Mike Collins will recap some highlights from this one and also update us on scores from elsewhere around the country and specifically in the SEC. And we will also get a visit from our game sponsor, the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Anton Gunn, former Gamecock football player and chairman of the Richland-Lexington Airport Commission, will be our guest. Right now, Gamecocks with the basketball. Jamarii Thomas brings it into the front court. Drives, finger roll, no. Bozeman's Verdonk offensive rebound, but he pushed off to get it. And that is not what Lamont Paris wanted. You call the timeout, you draw something up, and then your players do not go out and execute what you've asked them to do. And to compound the problem, you get a push-off on an offensive rebound attempt that will give Texas an opportunity for points at the line.
I guess the idea was to go 2 for 1, but there was no need for that, really.
Well, you can do it without that being the shot you select. And the foul from Bozeman's Verdonk is his 2nd. And so Jordan Butler will replace him. And the 1 and bonus opportunity coming up for Jason Kent, who is not one of the great Longhorn free throw shooters. They've got a bunch of really good ones. Kent's 59%. It's a 1 and 1. First attempt, no, missed it. Murray-Boyles rebounds. Still about 10 seconds different between the shot clock and the game clock, so Carolina will not play for 1. Thomas drives, gives to Murray-Boyles. To the rim he goes. Dunk attempt, miss. Gamecocks rebound. Put it back on the perimeter. Still got 12 on the shot clock. Collin in the high post. Drives, triple team, kicks to Zach. Zach goes back to Murray-Boyles, who gives back to Zach, and Zach's fouled on a cut through the lane. That was helter-skelter at best, but it works out as Onyema gets the personal, and Zach will shoot 2. Murray-Boyles was going to try and dunk that over the Empire State Building. I'm not sure he had a high percentage of finishing that one. And as it was missed. And now a technical foul called on Texas coach Rodney Terry. He has not been pleased with the whistles tonight in the least. And I get it, but right about now, with 14 seconds left in the half, I don't know that this serves much of a purpose. Jamarii Thomas will shoot the technical free throws. First one is good.
Well, we've been knocking them down from the line tonight, 10 or 12.
He'll shoot one more, and then Zach will shoot two, and Jamarii sinks both of those. He's 5 for 5 at the stripe and has 8 first-half points to go along with 3 assists and no turnovers. Gamecocks, Casey, with only 2 first-half turnovers. That's got to be season low. And now Zach Davis to shoot 2. And he sinks his first.
Now we've seen this in reverse, the way this game is flowing right now.
17-point lead, trying to make it 18. Mark the largest of the half, and Zach indeed cans a pair. Gamecocks 14 of 16 at the line in the first half. Texas, with 14 seconds left, will have the final possession. Ball rolls across midcourt, now picked up by Larry. He sends it to Johnson on the right wing, guarded by Thomas. Ball screen set, he goes around it. Butler cuts him off. They've got him trapped in the corner. He throws up a prayer. It will not go. Rebound pulled down by the Gamecocks, and that will do it. What a half of basketball. If Tuesday night's first half at LSU was the worst half of basketball we've seen all season, this may have been the best.
It could be an 8-0 run in the last minute and 24 seconds. And as you said, only 2 first-half turnovers?
A 40-22 lead for South Carolina at the break.
Whatever you bring, bring more. Whatever you personally bring to the SEC table, bring more. Get up earlier, sing and yell and stomp louder. Enough never is. Not here. Between the Magnolias and the Azaleas, legends and lore regale us, downright implore us. Bring everything you got, and then bring more.
What does farm to table mean to you, Gamecock fans? Thanks to South Carolina farmers and chefs, you can enjoy locally grown food at any table, including tailgates. Visit CertifiedSC.com. It is a matter of taste. Casey, any particular numbers on that halftime stat sheet that really jumped out at you?
2 turnovers, of course. I mean, that's amazing. But that shows you if you don't turn the ball over and make mistakes, you got a chance in almost any game.
2 turnovers and 40 points. They have something to do with each other. If you, like you say, don't give away possessions, and you can put up bigger numbers. This team scored 40 in the first half against Auburn, but they didn't have an 18-point lead at halftime. So they're in about as good of a spot as you could possibly hope for as this second half gets underway. Now you got to seal the deal and keep playing well in the final 20 minutes. As play resumes, Longhorns basketball to get the half started. And it is Jordan Pope starting the second half at point guard. He came off the bench in the first half. Right out of the chute, a pull-up jumper by Kaluma, who starts the second half also, and a cheapie. A reach-in foul on the shot attempt by Collin Murray-Boyles. And you have to know, with the way Rodney Terry complained and got the technical, if you're South Carolina and your fan base, you have to gird yourself. You're not getting whistles in the second half. You're just not. These officials are going to respond, if you will, to the score and to the protests of the head coach.
Well, that's why he got the technical. His team was playing so poorly. Why not go ahead and get it?
Kaluma makes the first free throw, and he makes the second, his first points of the game. Trey Johnson had 9 first-half points. Texas will pick up with full-court pressure. No surprise there either, trailing by 18. Trey Johnson had 9. No one else had more than, I guess Jason Kent had 6. No one else had more than a bucket. You had a lot of quiet halves. Murray-Boyles being guarded very close by Kaluma. Will drive, will spin, and with the left hand, score it, and another foul. Well, if you want to guard him closely, he can make you pay. And Kaluma, after getting the free throws, just collected his 3rd personal foul.
He's so crafty with that spin move in the post. It's hard to defend.
18 points for Collin Murray-Boyles, and a chance for his fourth opportunity for a 3-point play. He made the first 2 free throws, missed the last one, and he leaves this one short as well. Gamecocks at the stripe, 14 of 16 in the first half. Don't want to let up there either. 18-point lead, 42-22. 24. Good ball screen defense there by Nick Pringle. Pope drives up and under, misses the layup. Rebound, though, by Shedrick. His stick back goes right into the bottom of the rim. He gets it back and sends it out to Tremont Mark. His three comes up short. Murray-Boyle has this rebound. Texas had multiple good looks on that possession. Did not take advantage. Pick and roll. Murray-Boyles dishes to Pringle, and he's got the two-hand flush.
You're talking about a clever assist.
Yeah, it was a nice little pocket pass from Jamarii Thomas to Murray-Boyles. Defense was rotating over, and he knew it, and that meant Pringle was unchecked on the weak side. Lead reaches 20 for the first time. Kaluma at the top of the key. Shedrick being guarded by Jamarii Thomas in the low post, but Jamari's fronting him and not giving him a clean look. Flashing in the lane is Jordan Pope. Catch and shoot jumper is up and in. First two of the game for Pope. He and Kaluma, between them, average, 24 points a game? And neither scored coming off the bench in the first half. So they start the second half, and they each have 2 points. 44-26. Jamarii Thomas drives to the basket, hangs in the air. Contact, no. Pringle catches the air ball, sticks it back up and in.
But Nick is showing a little start tonight, isn't he?
Absolutely. Jamarii got bumped on his way up, which resulted in an air ball, but Pringle was there as it was his defender, the man guarding him, who would come over to help on Jamarii. So 4 straight points for Pringle. Shedrick in the low post. Zach Davis has the steal. Off to the races, to the rim, two-handed flush. And time is called by Texas. The Gamecocks stretch the lead to 22. It's 48-26. Today's game brought to you by the Columbia Metropolitan Airport, the official airport of the Gamecocks. From takeoff to tip-off, CAE supports the Gamecocks non-stop. Check CAE, then fly CAE. Fly local, fly with ease. We're back to Colonial Life Arena after a timeout on the Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield.
Parents, it's now.
Gamecocks pick up where they left off. It was an 8-0 run to end the first half, and in the second half, it's an 8-6 start, or an 8-4 start, I should say, and South Carolina forces Texas to burn another timeout as Rodney Terry, at this point in time, his guys are on wobbly legs. The Gamecocks continuing to just do great things at the defensive end, Casey.
On the defense, they held the Longhorns 1 for 4 shooting, 0 for 1 from behind the arc. They did hit 2 foul shots. Meanwhile, 4 of 5 from the field, 80% for the Gamecocks, and 0 of 1 from the free throw line. No 3-point shot attempts.
How about this? 7-1.
Yeah.
That's points off turnovers, and it's in favor of South Carolina. We don't know what to do with ourselves. That steal and dunk by Zach Davis, the final piece in that number. And out of the timeout, Gamecocks will stay with their original 5. Texas will have the basketball. And Carolina with a 22-point lead, largest of the game. Jordan Pope brings it front court. Here's Trey Johnson, the super freshman. Zach Davis pushes him. Unnecessary foul, to say the least. And the second on Zach. But that's an easy call. Crowd doesn't like it, but you just put 2 hands on the guy and shove him when he's trying to dribble the basketball, and he gets knocked backwards. Longhorns get it in, and this time it is Johnson on the right side against Davis. Squares up, fakes left, drives right. To the baseline, kicks in the far corner to Kaluma. Good closeout by Thomas. Shot clock at 4. Kaluma drives across the lane, shoots the floater, misses it. Pringle has another rebound. Again, good defense by the Gamecocks. Jamarii lobs to Murray-Boyles, catches on the baseline. Double team, pass across the baseline is kicked out of bounds by Texas. They're going to give him touches.
Oh, yeah.
You would think every possession. Jamarii triggers it in to Pringle. Left to the key. Jamarii comes and gets a handoff. Steps back, tries a deep 3. That's going to be an air ball, and that was a really bad shot decision by Jamarii Thomas. Right after I said they're going to get touches to Murray-Boyles, a baseline out of bounds leads to a I should say a contested three that just wasn't needed. And it comes up an air ball. Lead of 22 for the Gamecocks. 48-26. Kaluma drives around the ball screen and is fouled on his way up as Pringle rotated over. That'll be 3 on Nick. And that means Nick will have to sit. Jordan Butler is already at the scorer's table, along with Morris Ugusuk, waiting to check in after Kaluma attempts his first free throw. Kaluma with 6 double-doubles this season. He sat out the last game, which was against Kentucky, with a left knee injury. He's got a heavy wrap on that left knee. He makes another free throw. He'll have one more. Butler for Pringle, as we mentioned, and Ugusuk for Thomas.
Can we maintain this momentum?
Arthur Kaluma, whose parents are from Uganda. He grew up in the United States, bounced around a few different cities before settling in Glendale, Arizona, he and his family. Makes both free throws here. And it's a 20-point edge, 48-28. Jacobi Wright will bring the ball up court now with Jamarii Thomas on the bench. Gives to Murray-Boyles at the top of the key, drives and kicks. Butler will try another three. He misses again. 0 for 3, Jordan Butler. Couldn't ask for better looks than they're giving him. Got to make something. Here's Johnson driving to Kaluma. Butler blocks his shot. Well, he's got 3 of those. Gamecocks in transition. Zach pulls it up on the left wing. Picks up the dribble, lobs it cross court for Ugusuk. Leaps to make the catch, sends it out top. Butler again. Now they'll swing it back left wing to Davis. Murray-Boyles wants it in the post, gets it, double team, and his pass is stolen away by Texas. Vermont Mark comes away with it. Mark up the far sideline. Butler and Mark collide. That'll be a foul on Jordan Butler. And that gets us to a timeout. Gamecocks with a 20-point lead at 48-28, just over 4 minutes gone by here in the second half as Carolina seeks its first win in
Distractions. Douse the don't care. Feed the fire. Feed it more.
Terminix is the best when it comes to pest control. They're headquartered right here in South Carolina, and Terminix has been trusted for 75 years. Keep your homes and businesses pest-free. Call 1-800-TERMINIX to schedule your service.
Well, second half, Carolina 8, Longhorns 6. Shot the ball well, 4-7, 57%.
The Gamecocks having another tough night shooting threes. They've made only 4 3-pointers in 5 of their last 7 games. They've made only 2 tonight in 10 attempts, but it has not hurt them because Texas has only made 1 3-pointer in 7 attempts. Longhorns basketball as play is resumed. Jordan Butler, Collin, Murray-Boyle, Zach Davis, Jacobi Wright, Morris Ugusuk, the 5 on the floor. Longhorns get the inbounds and get an open 3 from the right corner from Johnson, and he knocks it down. Well, just when I said they only had 1 3, guess what? Now they got 2. Trey Johnson is responsible for both of them. He's got a dozen, and the Gamecocks lead cut to 17, 48-31. Butler at the top of the key, feeds Ugusuk on the wing. Underneath for Murray-Boyles, and he's fouled on the catch by Onyema. They're going to try and get very physical, you would think, with Collin now. Second on Onyema. Second of the half on the Longhorns. And coming back in is Caden Shedrick. And he'll replace Onyema. Baseline out of bounds. Jacobi Wright to trigger it in. And then comes back to get the ball. Drives in the high post, kicks to Butler. 3 up, and there's one. Jordan Butler finds the range on his 4th attempt. And again, Carolina answers the 3 from Texas with 1 of their own. Both times Johnson hit a 3 tonight. Carolina on the next trip down floors responded with 1 of their own. First points for Jordan Butler. Lead back to 20. Play held up momentarily as Zach Davis ties his shoe, and now Texas brings it ahead. And an offensive foul called on Jordan Pope. He took a dribble handoff to a teammate and then ran into Jacobi Wright, who was chasing that teammate. They collided. Jacobi ended up on his backside, and he wakes up or gets up with a sheepish grin on his face, knowing that he probably sold that one a little bit. The turnover and the offensive foul on Pope. That's his third. He'll have to sit. Julian Larry returns.
That's the 8th turnover for the Longhorns. They only manage about, 9.7 a game.
Yeah, their turnover percentage, 14% of possessions. Not so tonight. Butler feeds Murray-Boyles in the high post. Gets around Shedrick. Can't score it, but he was fouled. Boy, you got guys hitting the deck all over. Jacobi Wright tangled up with Julian Larry. They both had gone down, and as Murray-Boyles drove around Shedrick, he had to weave between Shedrick and the fallen Julian Larry, who was on a knee and not even facing the play. Lucky that he didn't land on top of Larry and hurt himself in the process. Larry's up now, and Murray-Boyles will be going to the line to shoot a pair. And we are going to go to the monitor and get an official review. And that is brought to you by Cool Care Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Refrigeration. Let Cool Care assist with your HVAC and plumbing systems. They offer free estimates and second opinions. Cool Care also offers 100% financing with credit approval. Check them out online at coolcarehvac.com to schedule a visit today. Joe Lindsay was not under the headset for more than a second or two, and apparently didn't see anything that he thought was worthy of anything. And so we will have Murray-Boyles at the line to shoot two with a 20-point lead for South Carolina with 15-12 remaining. And before Collin toes the line, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Gamecock basketball from Learfield. Collin, 2 of 4 at the line so far tonight. He's got 18 points and 9 rebounds. He had his 7th double-double of the season at LSU. And we said he probably had to do one better here, a double-double and then some. And currently in process, not there yet, but certainly in a good spot to get there, and he makes a free throw.
He was short on the 2 misses that he had from the line, but he made the adjustment with that shot.
Looking here for his 20th point of the night, gets it. And the Gamecocks lead is back out to 22, 53-31. Longhorns average almost 79 a game. They got 31 points well into the second half, and now they turn it over again as Johnson went backdoor cut, and the pass got to him, but then went off his knee and out of bounds.
9 turnovers for the Longhorns.
Jacobi Wright running the offense with Jamarii Thomas on the bench. Ugusuk from the wing drives and kicks to Zach. He gets to the baseline. Cut off, sends it back to Ugusuk, and that pass offline, and that's a turnover.
Can't do that.
Only for South Carolina, the 4th turnover of the night. Zach thought he could drive the baseline, and then when he got cut off, he was stuck between the baseline and 2 defenders and had to throw a very low percentage pass that Ugusuk could not haul in. Jamarii Thomas coming back to the scorer's table. He'll check in at the next head ball. Here's Johnson. Step back 3. Too strong. Rebound won by Shedrick. Ball goes off his foot, picked up by his teammate, and Kent has the layup.
Second chance points for the Longhorns.
They haven't gotten much of anything, but they have gotten 7 points from second chance points, and Jason Kent has been responsible for most of those. Although he didn't get that rebound, he just had the ball basically roll across the lane to him for that hoop. Gamecocks have scored either 67 or 68 points in the last 3 games. I think they're going to be in better position than that. Here is Jacobi Wright trying to fall away baseline jumper, misses it, but the rebound contested by Ugusuk goes out of bounds off of Texas. And Jamarii Thomas is back, and he'll replace Jacobi Wright. Jamarii had 8 points, 3 assists in the first half of play. Ugusuk, the trigger man this time on the baseline, out of bounds, and he'll have to lob it in for Butler on the right side. Gives it back to Davis. Davis going to get an easy layup out of it.
A nice little fake, though, by Davis to let his guy go by wide open.
That's 8 now for Zach. Arden Conyers comes to the scorer's table. Tom Johnson, catch and shoot 3. No. Rebound chased in the corner. Lost out of bounds. Last touch by South Carolina. Trey Johnson keeps shooting, but not having one of his better days. He's got a dozen points, but he's taken 14 shots to get to a dozen points. Butler's out. Davis out. Murray-Boyles out. We get Pringle, Bozeman-Verdonk, and Conyers on the floor here at the 13:33 mark. Longhorns bring it into Larry. Beats Mark on the left wing. Drives on Conyers. Nothing there. Kicks in the corner. 3-ball, air ball on the far side. Run down in the corner by Jamarii Thomas. Jason Kent, 28% shooter from downtown. That one nowhere close. And now Carolina again can push this 22-point lead a little higher if they can get a hoop. Ugusuk trapped on the far sideline. Gives it up. Conyers open 3 near side on its way short. Rebound off the foot of Bozeman Verdonk it out of bounds. Good look.
Yep, this in full.
Gamecocks have gotten clean looks to be 2 of 11. To be 3 of 12 from three-point territory is not indicative of the quality of the shots they've gotten from out there. Here's Kent driving the left baseline. Pass stolen away by Jamarii Thomas. Gamecocks force another turnover from Texas. They're in double figures now.
It's been the defense all night.
Really has. And Jamarii has the ball poked free from behind by Tremont Mark. Our next door neighbor, Harry, makes the catch here in row 1. Mark out. Devon Pryor in for Texas. Pryor played 5 minutes of the first half. Ugusuk drives. Curls off a screen, gives to Bozeman Verdonk. Wasn't really ready for that. Shot clock at 4. Conyers loads up a deep 3. No. Rebound pulled down by Shedrick. Not a good possession that time for Carolina. Conyers had to let that one go from deeper than he normally would. He's going to try and guard Trey Johnson here, who gets to the bucket and gets an easy layup. I don't know. Conyers just cut him off and then backed away from him. Gave him an easy 2. You never switch off of that guy, but he's going to shoot the basketball, and Lamont Paris, I think, telling Arden Conyers about it as he comes back down the floor. 55-35 South Carolina. Not a real strong offensive unit on the floor right now for the Gamecocks. They got to find some points somewhere. Bozeman Verdonk backs in, steps through, shot rejected by Shedrick. Texas picks it up, and here comes Johnson again in transition. And from below on the left, he banks it up and in one more time. One of the Longhorns grabbed the rim, but that ball was already well in the cylinder. I think that's the right call. Gamecocks haven't scored in 2.5 minutes. Lamont Paris will get a media timeout at the next dead ball. Got to think he's got to get somebody back on the floor, namely Collin Murray-Boyles. Pringle in the low post. Gets hooked by Jason Kent, and that'll be a foul. And no shots will come from it. But the Gamecocks will have the ball when we come back. 55-37 your score. 11:07 remaining in the contest. Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment. Remind you to choose chill. They're the official partner.
Mike Collins back with you in the Learfield Network studios. A quick score update in Fayetteville. Arkansas leading 15th-ranked Missouri 77-72. Razorbacks shooting 55% from the field. We'll get it back to Derek Scott in Columbia for the Gamecocks.
All right, thanks, Mike. Missouri has been on quite a roll. They won 3 in a row. They're 9-4 in the conference, 20-6 overall, and we'll head there next to face the Tigers in a late contest on Tuesday night. But Arkansas right now trying to spring the upset in Fayetteville.
Well, it's tough on the road in any conference, especially in the SEC. I asked the Longhorns here tonight, can we keep it up for the 11 minutes or so.
One of the officials, Steven Anderson, was just updating our TV crew next to us. We couldn't hear any of that, of course, but I saw him do a motion that looked like he was saying hook and hold. Granted, the foul that was committed before that break was a hook, but the guy who was fouled had the ball in his hands. He wasn't trying to get to an offensive rebound, but if you watch this, you'll see we're getting a look at a monitor. He's got him hooked, and I wonder if they've called something more significant,
a common foul.
Than a common foul. We're not.
The common foul on 25 has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 hook and hold foul.
Yep.
Clyde White will shoot 2 shots.
And we're looking at the monitor. That was the right call.
I thought when it happened, it was a clear hook. I just honestly didn't know how the rule worked when it was a non-live or non-loose ball situation. As it is, Pringle gets free throws out of it. It was just going to be the Gamecocks ball underneath the hoop. Nick's first shot is good. First free throw of the night for Pringle, who, I don't want to jinx him, but he's made 9 in a row over the last 2+ games. Come on, make it 10. I did it. I did it. Nick gets 1 of 2, give him 9 points. The lead is back to 19, and now Carolina gets the ball. So that's the better news. You get a point, now you get a possession. And Carolina haven't made a field goal in nearly 3 minutes, so they need to get that going. Murray-Boyles is back on the court as Pringle, after that second free throw, sits down. Jamarii Thomas also is back, and Zach Davis is back. Jamarii on the dribble, takes us to the right side. Trying to post up, spins, crosses over, shot swatted back. Ball got stuck in the hands of Jamarii Thomas, and the Gamecocks don't need that. He's had a couple possessions here in the second half that just forgot about his teammates. Here's a mid-range jumper on the left side for Caden Shedrick, and he hits his first shot of the game. And Texas now has made 3 in a row and starting to chip away at this lead. It is 17, 56-39. Carolina's missed 4 straight shots. That rejection, by the way, by Shedrick was his 5th of the contest, one of the best shot blockers in the SEC. Jamarii Thomas on the right wing, drives into the paint, again stops and is fouled on his way up. They got fortunate there in that Julian Larry had good defensive position, but he put that arm down, almost parallel to the floor instead of straight up. And Thomas went right up into that arm. Savvy play by the senior Jamarii Thomas. 16
fouls on the Longhorns with 10-12 to go in the game.
So you're getting the bonus the rest of the way. Meanwhile, you're shooting free throws before you get in the bonus. Both Pringle a few moments ago and now Thomas, and Jamarii makes his first point of the second half for Thomas. Give him 9 on the evening. Jordan Butler back in, replaces Bozeman's Verdonk. They both played pretty significant minutes here tonight. Jordan's been out there for 12 minutes, has 3 points, a couple block shots. Jamarii makes both, and now he sits and Ugusuk returns.
19 of 23 from the foul line tonight.
How about that? So it's 58-39. Gamecocks still no field goals in about 4 minutes, but they're getting free throws. Zach Davis falls down, gets back up. Johnson shoots it anyway and gets it. Has a step-back fadeaway 2 for Trey Johnson, and he's having his normal strong night offensively. The leading scorer in the SEC has 18 now as a pass is deflected out of bounds by the Longhorns.
Well, he's going to get his points. I mean, he's just too good not to, but has not a great night, but a decent one with 18 points.
Better second half, that's for sure. He's made a lot more than he's missed in this second half of play. Under the 10-minute mark we go. Gamecocks with the ball and a 58-41 lead. Murray-Boyles drives to the rim, and he's got another two-hand layup.
I thought that was tipped before it went in.
He got it up, and before Shedrick could sneak over from the weak side and swat another shot away. 22 for Collin. Now defending against Kaluma, who backs in and shoots the fadeaway. Came up short, but they call the foul. And they say Collin got Kaluma on the elbow. And that's 2 on Collin here in the second half. Both of them fouling jump shooters. Yeah, he definitely. Replay shows us on the video board overhead. That was definitely a foul on the shooting arm of Kaluma. And Kaluma goes back to the line. Still doesn't have a field goal tonight, but he has made 4 free throws in as many attempts here in the second half. He's got 2 more here. Kaluma, the transfer from Kansas State, gets the first one.
Spent time at Creighton.
Yeah, 2 years at Creighton, then a season at Kansas State. Now Kansas State to Texas. They, of course, played against each other in the Big 12 last season. He's got over 1,500 career points. He rattles the second one out. No good. Gamecocks rebound. Kaluma with 5 points, but his team's still down by 18. Ugusuk squares it up between the rings. Gives to Jacobi Wright. Now it's Murray-Boyles in the post. Double team. Kicks it back to Butler on the perimeter. Goes back to Murray-Boyles. Backs in. Kicks to Ugusuk. 3 from the left side. Bingo!
Great ball movement that time. Not in a hurry. Hit the open guy's face.
First points for Ugusuk. A 3-pointer for the Gamecocks. Only their 4th of the contest, but it pushes the lead back to 21. Kaluma answers with one of his own. Kaluma now with 8 second-half points. Trey Johnson has 9, so 17 of about, 23 total points in the second half. Another open 3 for Ugusuk in the left corner. 2 in a row!
Morris!
Again, great ball movement. It was Murray-Boyles kicking it out on the double team, and both Jacobi and Butler turned down 3s to give one to a teammate. Morris makes 2 in a row, 66-45 as we go under the 8-minute mark. And another foul on Murray-Boyles as Kaluma, again, was isolated on him one-on-one. Collin gets his 3rd here with 8:01 remaining. And Kaluma back to the line. Now we talk about Trey Johnson being a big-time scorer. Arthur Kaluma's a guy that can go off in a hurry. He's been in double figures in 19 games this season and about to get there again, it would appear, as he's got 8 and shoots. Well, nope, non-shooting foul. I forgot, not the bonus yet, so it's a baseline inbounds for Texas. Murray-Boyle sits down as the ball was knocked out of bounds by Butler. Good poke, and that should get us to a timeout. It's 66-45 Gamecocks, 7:59 remaining. We'll return after this message from the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. BJ's got it on the right baseline for your Gamecocks. So remember, when you've got to see Sandsbury. Gamecocks made 3 straight shots and are keeping the Longhorns at bay.
Well, they're 0 for 5, that is the Longhorns visitors, and we've had 1 lead change 2 times in this whole game. In the second half, we shot the ball well, 9 of 17, 53%, 3 of 7 from behind the arc, 43%, and 5 of 7 from the free throw line, and 19 for 23 for the game. That's the way you win ball games there.
Yeah, you're right. You limit turnovers, you make free throws, and you defend for 40 minutes. Texas will have the basketball as play resumes. Butler, Pringle, Ugusuk, Wright, Davis on the floor. South Carolina's top 2 scorers, Murray-Boyles and Thomas, on the bench. So we'll see how long this particular lineup can hold up before you need to get a little more firepower out there. Larry, the inbounder, brings it out to Kaluma. Kaluma, very dangerous in the second half. Will drive into Jacobi Wright. That should be a charge, and it's called a block, and I don't know what else Jacobi could have done. He was basically just standing there as Kaluma ran right over him. I would love, you get to the point where you want to learn more about the interpretation of that call now. He could not have, I don't know what else he could have done. But Kaluma's gotten the benefit of the whistle. He's already shot 6 free throws in the second half, and he now 7 and 8, and he misses the first. So he's missed 2 in a row after making his first 5. And we are in the window, folks, the chicken window.
He shoots 78% from the line. Let's see what happens on the second attempt.
It's up. It's good.
Here comes the press, of course.
Yeah, they're going to show some pressure, especially with Jamarii on the bench. Jacobi Wright creeps it up the near side, gets it to midcourt. Trap comes, gives to Ugusuk. Morris drives in the lane, gives out top to Zach. Zach's going to the rim and gets fouled on his way there.
Yeah, 17 fouls on Texas, so it'll be a 1-and-1 for Zach.
Oh, I think he was shooting. He was in the act.
Well, yeah.
They give the personal foul to Julian Larry, his third, and Zach gets a pair. He is 2 of 2 at the line tonight, and his third attempt of the night is good.
20 of 24 from the line tonight.
I tell you, Zach has played much more under control tonight. He has only 1 turnover in 24 minutes, and he's in double figures as he sinks both of those. He's got 10 points. Back to doing the steady work, and he's had the weight on his shoulders of guarding Trey Johnson tonight, which has been a big ask, and I think he's done a pretty solid job. Here's a lob. Kaluma can't make it, but the ball ends up in the hands. I should say Shedrick couldn't make it. The ball ends up in the hands of Kaluma. He lobs back in the corner for Johnson, and he falls out of bounds, but they say Zach pushed him to force him there. And Zach gets his third personal, and a 1 bonus coming for Trey Johnson, who is the best free throw shooter on this team, one of the best in the country, 88%. 85 of 97 at the line this season. This is his first 2 free throws tonight, and he makes the first. How about this, Casey? 25 games, Johnson's been in double figures 24 times. He's broken 20 on 10 occasions.
And 30.
And he's on the verge of making it 11, and he does as he sinks both free throws.
He had 32 and 9 against Kentucky.
Yeah. Of those 9 rebounds, that was the thing. He's a wing, but he had 5 offensive boards and 3 assists. Gamecocks again face full court pressure off the made free throw, and they lob over the top this time to Zach. Jamarii Thomas back on the floor now. He replaced Jacobi. Come down to the 7-minute mark. Gamecocks by 20. Jamarii double team, ball knocked free. Jamarii gets it back, and he's bumped. Boy, oh boy. He was in the ringer there, wasn't he?
They could have called a foul 3 seconds earlier almost. He got bumped 3 times.
Yeah, Trey Johnson hit him once, hit him twice. Finally, they called Johnson for the personal. And on the 8th foul of the half against the Longhorns, a 1 bonus for Jamarii, who's asking for a moment as he got popped in the eye a little bit. And he's trying to wipe that left eye and get his vision straight. Front end free throw, good. You know, early in the he's 8 for 8. Early in the season, he was really struggling with free throws, unlike what his track record would tell you he would do. But he's cleaned it up a lot here since coming back from that knee injury. He gets both of these.
And a friendly bounce.
Now you look at the numbers at the free throw line, they have been real good since he came back against Mississippi State. Lead back to 22 and another foul on the Gamecocks. They were going with the pick and roll and trying to throw the lob, and Shedrick was going up for it, and you could tell he was way off balance. Apparently that was because Morris Ugusuk had pushed him.
There'll be 19 fouls. We'll be in a double bonus with 6:51 to go in this game. Carolina will be.
So a 1 bonus, or are they going to say he was in the act of shooting? No, 1 for Caden Shedrick. 67% shooter at the line. Misses. Rebound, tip back out to Shedrick. Well, that's on Arden Conyers. He didn't screen out the shooter, and he wasn't ready for the rebound to be tipped out. Went right over his head. And now here's Johnson with a wild drive to the basket, and Murray-Boyles fouls him. And that's 4 on Collin, and you can't do that. You're up 22.
Give him the basket.
Give him a dunk, give him a 3, give him a Christmas present. Do not foul and get your 4th.
Well, we don't want to lose Collin with 6:39 to go in this game.
You got to sit him now. Shedrick to shoot two. Johnson to shoot two. Sinks the first. And Bozeman's Verdonk will replace Murray-Boyles. Collin, a little similar to that Auburn game. He was a house of fire in the first half. And the second half, it's been more quiet. I mean, he sits down now with 6 second-half points after having 16 first-half points. But he's been his own worst enemy. He's committed 4 fouls in the second half. Johnson makes both, and again, Texas picks up with full-court pressure. Now they'll back off as Jamarii Thomas jogs it into the front court. 20-point lead, 6.5 minutes left. Ugusuk double-teamed out front. Gets it out, then a throwaway by Thomas, and a run out by Texas, and Mark gets a layup. So the pressure picks up, and the Gamecocks will need to keep their cool here. 70-52. You don't need cross-court lob passes in this situation. Keep it simple. Ugusuk between the circles. Shot clock at 10. Jamarii Thomas comes back to get the basketball. Shot clock at 6. He goes around the ball screen, double team, going nowhere fast, gives it off to Pringle. Pringle has to try a three, and that's no good, and the rebound belongs to Texas. Another bad possession offensively, and the Longhorns have some momentum. Johnson step back three, got another one, and Lamont Paris has to call a timeout. The Longhorns on a 7-0 run. They've made 7 straight shots, and they have shaved the deficit to 15, 70-55 with 5:36 remaining. Carolina suddenly showing some wobbly legs, and the Longhorns with their first bit of momentum here in the contest.
Well, 7-0 run, like you mentioned, 7 for their last 7. We've had no field goals in the last 2 minutes and 44 seconds. And how long can you leave Collin Murray-Boyles on the bench? Not any longer, it appears.
Yeah, he's going right back in. The unexpected happens every day. When it does, head to Kohl's and Kohls.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where families come first. They're going to put Jacobi Wright back in too. And I was about to say, the LSU game, when that game ended and we got the box score, the book that they give you, the last page shows you how every different lineup fared, what the scoring was for every different 5-man combination. And what was shocking after a bad loss such as it was is that when the Gamecocks had their 5 starters on the floor, they were only -2. And that tells you how badly the non-starters struggled. And right now, you're trying to get a win any way you can. You put those 5 starters out there. If their tongues are dragging out, you leave those 5 starters on the floor. As it is Pringle that will sit. I thought Wright was going to replace Ugusuk, but he gets Conyers, and they'll have 3 guards out there, and Ugusuk, Wright, and Jamarii Thomas to try and deal with this full-court pressure from the Longhorns. And Thomas immediately gets stuck in a trap and steps out of bounds. Unbelievable. You cannot inbounds to a man in the corner against full-court pressure, and they just walked right into it. Visions of the Florida game right now for South Carolina. Unraveling against full-court pressure after having a comfortable double-digit lead. Longhorns get it in, and you know who they're going to go to. Right now it's Tremont Mark on the left wing. Backing down Jacobi Wright. Pull-up jumper, spins out, and Wright grabs the rebound.
He got a lucky break that.
Tremont Mark, tough night. Only 4 points. He's had all or nothing against the Gamecocks in his career. Last year, 18 and then 2 when he played for Arkansas, and now a holding foul away from the basketball. Morris Ugusuk trying to run the baseline, and Julian Larry gets caught with a handful of jersey, and that'll be 4 on Larry and a 1 bonus for Ugusuk. And boy, did Lamont Paris yell, "Come here," at Jamarii Thomas. I have to imagine it's because of what he just did with that turnover in the corner, where he came all the way into the worst spot on the court to take an inbounds pass. Big free throws here for Morris, and he sinks the first.
Well, he shoots 79% from the line.
Yeah, he's the best free throw shooter on the team, but when it's your first attempt of the night, you always wonder, He's got 7 points now, all of them coming here in the second half. His 12th game tonight with multiple three-pointers. He misses the second free throw, and Texas grabs the rebound. 16-point lead for Carolina. There are 5 minutes left in this contest. Here comes Collin out top against Murray-Boyles. Got to be careful, Collin. He backs in, he spins, he shoots the turnaround jumper and misses it, and the rebound belongs to Murray-Boyles. Good screen out by Bozeman's Verdonk. He had Shedrick completely shielded. Let somebody else go get the rebound. I'm just going to hold my ground right here. So an empty trip for the Longhorns, and the Gamecocks will try and push this lead back a little further. Thomas trapped on the near sideline. Gives it out to Ugusuk on the right wing. Morris double team. Lobs over the double team. Kick out to Jacobi Wright. 3 left side, too strong. Rebound tipped around, and they just got Murray-Boyles for his 5th foul. Mike Nance says he went over the back in pursuit of an offensive rebound. And whether you think it was a ticky-tack foul or not, you can't be in a position to allow that foul to be called. And Collin is just, if there is a shortcoming he has, it is not playing smart when he gets in foul trouble. He commits more 5th fouls after getting a 4th in short order. Any star player I can remember. And he's done now. And the Gamecocks without Collin Murray-Boyles are a different squad. Shedrick to shoot 2. First attempt is good. Murray-Boyles fouls out with 22 points. But the second half just made no sense. He committed 5 fouls in less than 15 minutes on the court, and now Shedrick misses a free throw, and the Gamecocks have a lane violation. Now this bunch, I tell you, late game leads are a roller coaster at best and a nightmare at worst. One more for Shedrick, and don't you know, he missed again.
Well, it's another lucky break moving around.
Yeah.
Just slows down their momentum.
Texas 16 of 23 at the line. That is not near what their normal percentage is. Jacobi Wright driving himself into no man's land and gets the ball stolen. And here comes Texas. Tremont Mark drives, kicks. Shedrick has it under the basket. Good defense by Bozeman's Verdonk. Kick out to Mark, and he rattles in a 3 from the corner. And the Gamecocks see that deficit or the lead down to 15 again. And now Ugusuk nearly gets his pocket picked. Gamecocks are lucky. The ball gets knocked into the hands of Jacobi Wright, and Jacobi Wright is fouled. Goodness grief. Jacobi will be at the line when we come back. 3:46 remaining. Carolina's lead all the way down to 12 points, as close as 10.
Non-stop destinations. Visit flycae.com.
Second half has evolved into a free throw shooting contest. Both teams have as many, if not more, free throw makes than they do field goal makes. South Carolina, 10 free throw makes in 13 attempts in the second half, 9 field goal makes in 19 attempts. Texas, 11 of 15 at the stripe, 11 of 21. And after being ice cold in the first half, Casey, Texas is heated up in a hurry here.
They really have, and they've outscored us 37-31 in the second half. And we got to find a way not to turn the ball over. Hold on, and let's hope Jacobi can keep the good free throw shooting going, because we're going to need it down the stretch. Now Texas and both Carolina in a double bonus.
From the 7:59 media timeout to the 3:46 media timeout, South Carolina's lead goes from 21 to 12. And you look at the points off turnovers, 5 of Texas's points in that stretch, 5 of their 14 points have been off turnovers. The Gamecocks will have Jacobi Wright at the line to shoot 2. He has not been to the stripe tonight. Just about everybody else who has played has. And 2 big ones here. They're all big at this late stage of the game. And Jacobi misses his first. 78% shooter, but sometimes when the moments get big, he has not looked nearly that confident this season. Go back to that Clemson game where he couldn't make one late. He gets 1 of 2 here, as Ugusuk did a minute ago. 13-point edge. Murray-Boyles is fouled out. Gamecocks have to try and close this out without their best player. And they still have 3.5 minutes to defend. And Trey Johnson has been on fire. And now he's got it in his hands, guarded by Zach Davis on the right wing. It's a clear out for him. Crossover dribble. Drive into the paint. Jump stop. Shot off the glass. No. Tip up and in, though, for Caden Shedrick. Gamecocks got caught ball watching, and nobody screened out Caden Shedrick, who went over the top of Bozeman's for dunk. And now here comes the full court pressure, and we see a timeout called by South Carolina because Jamarii Thomas was abandoned. He got the inbounds pass, and his teammates went to the other end of the floor and left him on an island. And all he could do to avoid a 10-second violation was to call a timeout. Carolina now with 2 of them remaining, 3:13 on the clock, the lead down to 11. No field goals for the Gamecocks in over 5 minutes, Casey.
Well, you got to find a way to close the game out, and so far we haven't been able to do that. But this is a great opportunity still to do so with 3:13 to go.
Right now, let's check in with Mike in the studio. He's got an update from another SEC site. In fact, the opponent we'll see next, the Missouri Tigers, and the opponent we'll see after that, the Arkansas Razorbacks. They're going head-to-head tonight in Fayetteville. What do you have, sir?
Thank you, Derek. Yes, we've got a final in Fayetteville. Arkansas beats Missouri 92-85. The Hogs are running up and down the floor with 22 fast break points on the game. Missouri had 18 turnovers and 44 points in the paint for the Razorbacks, who convert on 55% of their shots. Let's get it back to you, Derek.
Thanks very much. At Missouri, Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Home with Arkansas a week from today, 1 p.m. And out of the timeout, Carolina will have 21 on the shot clock. And Arkansas, you know, is going right back into that full court pressure defense. Gamecocks need some people to step forward and not step backward.
You're right. You can't leave a guy on the island, like you said. You got what's important is to get it across the half court. And I see all 5 guys are in the backcourt.
Zach Davis will be the trigger man, and Joe Lindsay reminds him, you can't move. You cannot run the baseline. Zach with a grin on his face from the way Joe emphatically told him that. Gamecocks get it into Jamarii, and he lobs it ahead to Ugusuk. And Morris brings it across the timeline and now holds on and waits for a double team and just does get rid of it over to Jacobi. And Jacobi's fouled by Tremont Mark. That looked like a purposeful foul, didn't it?
It looked like it. It's a double bonus. Why would they do that?
And with the shot clock winding down, I mean, you know, it was 21 before we inbounded. So, yeah,
Jacobi's got to make them.
We'll say thank you very much to Tremont Mark. And the Gamecocks will try and come away with points from this possession. First free throw attempt from Jacobi is perfect. Looked much more confident with that stroke. Five points for the senior from Fort Mill. Second free throw makes it 6. He got them both. 2
big foul shots made by Jacobi.
And thank you, Tremont Mark, for that foul. We go into the 3-minute mark. Gamecocks lead is 13, 74-61. Larry out top. Gives to Johnson. Johnson against Jamarii Thomas. Puts his head down and drives and loses the ball, and the Gamecocks turn him over. They'll lob it ahead for Zach Davis. Zach runs it out, and the Gamecocks hold on to it. Now Jacobi in traffic. Bounces out top to Jamarii Thomas. Jamarii guarded by the freshman Johnson, and Johnson bumps him.
It's going to be a foul shooting contest for us.
Sure is. That's 3 on Trey Johnson. Boy, that outlet pass after the steal barely got to Zach Davis, but he had to run it down. And once he had his back to the basket, he just decided to heck with it. I'm holding on to this and not going to try and go to the rim. First free throw up from Jamarii is good.
10 for 10.
Big night for the folks at Food Lion. Of course, for every free throw the Gamecocks make, 100 meals are donated to a local area food bank. Thanks to the Score to Give More program, and Jamarii makes it 29 made free throws. 2,900 meals donated tonight by Food Lion. Thomas gets that lead back up to 15. And Pringle with a foul on the perimeter.
Come on, Nick.
It's not that there are fouls. It's the style of fouls, the type of fouls this team has committed in the second half. 30 feet away from the hoop in a non-shooting situation. And Pringle, he might have a future in politics because he lobbies officials after they've called him for fouls about as much as anybody. At the line, Julian Larry, 87%, but 1 of 2 tonight. And now 1 of 3, he missed again. You just start wondering if it's just not Texas's night.
I hope not.
A team that makes 79% of free throws in conference play is sitting on 17 of 25 tonight, not even 70%. He got 1 of 2. The Boo Birds are out, and the Gamecocks throw it away. And Larry at the bucket misses but is fouled. Why in the world did Zach Davis throw it to Thomas, who was guarded? I'm telling you, both Ugusuk and Jacobi Wright were both wide open to his left and to his right, and he threw it in the middle where Jamarii was guarded. They just can't make it easy. Larry back at the line where he made 1 of 2, and he makes the front end.
Well, we got 2 minutes and 28 seconds after this free throw.
Haven't made a field goal in nearly 6 minutes. It is another stagger to the finish line. And again, the free throw was missed, but Kaluma has the offensive rebound. Texas with a chance to add more. They've got 2 points out of this possession. Mark misses a 3, and the rebound belongs to Pringle, and he's fouled. Oh, my goodness. Fouls, missed free throws, turnovers.
Everything you want in a horror movie.
Yes. If Jason showed up in a hockey mask right now, I wouldn't blink. Pringle, 1 of 2 tonight. Will shoot 2 more. The lead is 13, 76-63. We all have so much scar tissue from this season that you howling at the moon over a 13-point lead with 2:20 left. Most people would think you're in great shape. Pringle misses the first.
Let's hope he can get this one.
Looking for double figures. He'll have 10 if he can salvage 1 out of 2 here. And he cannot. Missed them both. Rebound Texas. Here they come again. Larry crosses over, drives, gives it to Shedrick in the low post. Back out to Mark on the wing. Mark drives and kicks back to Shedrick, and he'll try a 3, and that is short. And on the weak side, Zach Davis has the rebound. Texas cooling off a little bit here the last few trips, and Jamarii Thomas races into the front court, and he's fouled by by Johnson. That'll be his 4th. Minute 57 left. Yeah, Texas's strategy is clearly foul early.
Oh, yes, sure.
And they fouled Jamarii Thomas.
It's 10 for 10, 11 for 11, I'm sorry.
Has made only 1 field goal tonight, but had a big night offensively in spite of that because of his accuracy at the line, and he misses.
Oh, boy.
And that is 3 in a row, and it is spreading.
Well, he needs to get 1 out of 2 at least.
With a minute 57 showing on the clock, Thomas hands 1 of 2. The lead goes back to 14. Johnson picks up the ball and brings it into the front court. They set 2 high ball screens. Pringle takes him, and he throws it away. Zach has a steal, and then Zach is fouled by Kaluma. The Gamecocks salvaging some of their steadiness, their defensive hawkish play. And actually, that's 5 on Kaluma, and he's done. Arthur Kaluma fouls out with 9 points in the contest. He'll be replaced by Devon Pryor, and Zach Davis will shoot 2.
And Zach is, I don't want to jinx him, 4 for 4 tonight from the line.
That is turnover number 12 by Texas. And Zach sinks his first.
Calmly, I might add.
11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals for Zach Davis tonight. Make it 12 points. Lead back to 16, 79-63 now. Still no field goals in 6.5 minutes, but they've been living at the line, making just enough. Johnson backs down Jamarii Thomas and hits the shot off the glass. Trey Johnson thought he was fouled on that one. Gamecocks against the full court pressure. Jamarii Thomas lobs it ahead to Ugusuk, and the Gamecocks call a timeout. Lamont Paris was worried about the 10-second violation, and he was yelling for timeout after Thomas had already thrown the pass, and it was caught by Carolina just as timeout was called. Gamecocks still have one more left. 1:30 on the clock, a 14-point lead.
Boy, a 14-point lead, 90 seconds to go. An opportunity to get your first W this year. This year, not just this year, period.
And a chance to get Jordan Butler his first ever SEC win. He was at Missouri last year. Of course, they win 0 for 18. The Gamecocks are 0 for 13. He's never experienced
the joy
an
in the
SEC win. Yeah, the joy of an SEC win in the locker room. It's like somebody in Hawaii talking about snow. I've heard of it. I've never seen it. Most made free throws of the season for South Carolina. And at any point in Lamont Paris's 3 years here, of course, Gamecocks made 25 against Radford, 24 against Clemson. Now they're up to 32 makes and 41 attempts tonight.
78% ain't bad, is it?
Not bad. Side court inbounds. They'll throw it into the backcourt to Jamarii Thomas, and he brings it across the timeline. Texas will chase him with a double team. He gives it up to Zach Davis. Zach holds it in the corner. Double team comes, gives it out to Pringle. And again, South Carolina calls a timeout. Boy, I'm not sure why Lamont Paris called that one, but I have to think the coach has gotten a little gun shy now with the way this team has struggled in closing out games, because they seemed like they were in pretty good shape there. And to use your final timeout when you had the possession and no one was on the verge of turning the ball over, getting trapped, and with 11 seconds on the shot clock, I think that might actually be a case where the coach and the coaching staff in general are feeling the heat a little bit themselves of having seen this movie before. The Florida loss, of course, was the low point, where you let the 14-point deficit lead slip away and lost by 1. There have been some other close but not close enough contests. Again, this Gamecock team in the last 5 home games have lost by a combined 17 points. They're up by 14 here, but they have to inbound again. Zach gets it into Jamarii. Jamarii sends it over to Jacobi. Right of the key. Corner, Ugusuk. 3-ball up. Oh. Bingo!
Talking about a big shot.
How about it? 10 points for Morris Ugusuk. The lead is 17 with just over a minute remaining. That might do it. Rest easy, Gamecock fans. Tremont Mark drives into the lane. Shoots an air ball. Rebound picked up by Pryor. His jumper misses. Rebound tipped and won by the Gamecocks. And Texas, will they back off? Apparently not. Jacobi Wright gets it ahead to Zach Davis, and Davis is fouled by Devon Pryor. 46 seconds left, a 17-point lead. And South Carolina fans get up, and a few of them even confident enough to start making their way for the exits. This team, you knew, had been too close too many times to not find a win somewhere in this building.
Well, you know, Derek, I grew up here, all right? I said I was going to keep it until we won a game.
You shaved. You knew.
No, I was kind of psychic about this stuff.
Yeah. Zach Davis misses his first free throw. You also had a formal engagement today at which you had to speak. Yeah. Maybe that had something to do with it as well. Zach trying to salvage 1 and 2. Missed a pair. 82-65. Here comes Trey Johnson again. Drives across the lane. Hook pass to Shedrick. Shedrick gets the layup. 82-67, inbounds to Jacobi Wright, and he's bumped immediately. Tremont Mark gets his fourth. Following the conclusion of this one, the Carolina Ford Dealers locker room report. A visit with a victorious head coach, Lamont Paris, as well as a recap of highlights with Mike Collins. Final check of the scoreboard. Lots more to get into as Jacobi Wright makes a free throw. We may have to start figuring out when's the last time this team made, or took, I should say, 45 free throws in a game. And you know, if you're on the Texas side of this thing, you got to be fuming to see your opponent shoot 45 free throws. We'll take it. Jacobi got both, 84-67. Highest scoring performance of the Gamecocks in conference play. Here's another drive to the hoop by Trey Johnson, and he finds a window somehow to squeeze another shot up and in. Johnson's got 29, but it's not going to be enough. 15 seconds left. Morris Ugusuk dribbles out of trouble, gives to Jamarii Thomas. They come to their feet here at Colonial Life Arena. These fans have been waiting a while. They've been waiting since 2024 to hear us say, you can put Spurs on this one. The Horns go down. The Gamecocks get a win in conference play. 84-69 is the final. A complete performance. They got a little shaky late, but South Carolina does not just win, they win convincingly. And we got contributions from the team. A team effort. Collin Murray-Boyles led the way in the first half. Fouls out, but still we maintain